Hi, I'm Dave Bailey, and I operate KPC's constructed wastewater treatment system. So in terms of options to address failed septic systems, there were several different options being considered by the temple. One is to build a large, or purchase a large tank, bury it in the ground. This would be a 10,000, 20,000 gallon tank. Have all the wastewater go into the tank and then pump it out. However, it would be expensive both to install it as well as continually have that wastewater hauled away. Second option is a mound system. That also is expensive, requires importing a lot of soils and constructing a long mound on the property, which would not really fit in with the current use of the property. And the third one was a package wastewater treatment system. However, that requires a certain amount of technical expertise to operate it, so none of those was really attractive options in terms of solving KPC's problems. We have to reduce ammonia. And the big problem in the Chesapeake Bay right now is nutrient enrichment, which basically acts as a fertilizer to stimulate algal growth, but with too much algae it dies, and as it degrades it uses up the oxygen in the water, and there's not adequate air in the water or oxygen in the water for fish to breathe. That's where the wetland plants come into play. The root systems of the aquatic vegetation we put in our 3 wetland cells basically use the ammonia or nitrogen as fertilizer for their growth, and therefore we have that benefit which avoids use of chemicals. So the problem we're having at KPC is, after 25 years of operation, the system has developed problems. Basically, we have 3 problems we need to address. One is the first wetland cell has accumulated a lot of solids which don't allow proper time for water to be treated and flow through the root systems of the plants. What we need to do is remove the current gravel and sediments in that cell and replace it with clean gravel. Then the second problem is our current septic tank, where waste from the temple first go before they flow down to the wetland cell, is too small for the amount of use it gets at KPC. And they now make septic tanks that will actually reduce nitrogen. So installing a new septic tank will give us greater capacity, remove some of the nitrogen before it goes down to the first wetland cell, and prevent further solids from getting into that cell. Our big problem right now is nitrogen. We're bumping up the limit against the limits in our permit, and if we don't do something quickly, we will be having violations. And the third thing we would like to do is upgrade or replace some of the plants in the wetland systems. We've lost some over the years because of invasion of non-water treatment vegetation, and that needs to be removed and replaced with good wetland plants. So right now we have an urgent need in terms of a window of opportunity to do this maintenance. In order to preserve and make use of the existing plants in the wetland cell, we need to take them out while we do the maintenance in terms of removing the gravel and the sediments that have built in there, and we need to make that happen before the frost comes, which would kill those plants and force us to totally purchase new plants. So in summary, we basically have the first constructed wetland wastewater treatment system that was built in Maryland. The system's been proven. It's been operating for 25 years, but after time, like any system, it's going to need some maintenance. And we need to make that happen now in order to take advantage of the window of opportunity before the first frost.